Hello everyone and welcome back for another tutorial. My name is Malik Masousi, your guide for today, and in this video I'll be walking you through how to generate synthetic data for your own use case. Last week we talked about how to fine-tune large language models, and this tutorial is a perfect follow-up for that. If you've been working with AI for a while now, you know that data can make or break a project. But let's be real, getting good data is tough. It's expensive, hard to find, and sometimes just not available in the amounts we need. And with the world starting to run low on data right now, fine-tuning models is becoming a real headache. That's why synthetic data is becoming more relevant than ever. Creating artificial data that mimics the pattern of real data can help us bypass all those issues. For this tutorial, I'm focusing on creating an SQL commands instruction response dataset, but you can easily adapt this notebook to create any type of dataset you need. Anyways, enough with the talking, let's open our notebooks and get started. First thing first, let's set up our environment. For this tutorial, I'm using the Qwen 2.572b instruct model, which is great at generating SQL queries. But you can use any model available on Hugging Face. Just make sure that the output it generates matches what you're going for. Then we can start the data generation process. Everything begins with subtopic generation. Subtopics help us break down the broader theme into smaller, more manageable chunks. In our example, we're generating data related to SQL commands. So instead of asking our model to just generate generic instructions related to SQL, we break it down into subtopics. This helps the model focus on more specific aspects of SQL, ensuring that the generated instructions are precise, relevant, and detailed. Without subtopics, we risk getting broad, less useful data that doesn't cover nuances. Now that we have a list of subtopics, the next step will be to generate a number of instructions for each subtopic. These instructions are essentially the kind of questions a user might ask or the tasks they want to perform. We will prompt our model to do just that. Here's a quick tip. I usually keep the temperature setting lower for a more focused output. This helps the model stay on track and stick to the prompt when generating instructions. After this cell finishes running, we can take a look at our instructions. If you're not satisfied with the output, you can edit the prompt and rerun the cell. But what we have here is perfect for me. So I'll be using it in the next step, which is generating the responses that go with each instruction. All we have to do is feed each instruction into the model and tell it to output the appropriate response. As you can see in my prompt, I asked for only the SQL command with no extra text. And if you look here, that's exactly what I got. Looks like we have a solid result. If it looks like some pairs are not good enough, don't worry, because in the next step, we'll be filtering and refining our dataset. To do that, we need to use something called a reward model. Reward models are a type of machine learning model specifically designed to help evaluate and rank outputs. Think of them as judges. They look at the data we've generated and assign a score based on how useful, relevant, and accurate it is. In our case, we'll be using the Nemotron 4 reward model, specifically to evaluate relevance and helpfulness. We set a quality threshold. If a data pair doesn't meet that threshold, we discard it. This ensures that we have only the most relevant, high-quality examples so that when we use them for fine-tuning, we get the best results possible. And there you have it. All we have to do now is save it and put it on Hugging Face. Go back to our fine-tuning tutorial and try using it. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Feel free to leave a question or comment down below.